guys ask a lot of questions. So, here we go. Hey, Akane, give us all. Alrighty. Let's see. Alright, so. Alright. I'm okay. Alright. So, let's get started. I decided to work on an old animation instead of a new one. So this will be fairly simple to keep up with. This is a little more complicated than normal, but thanks to the Junimo GIF that I was working on earlier, it should work. Emphasis on the term should. Speaking of which, Junie! Come here, Junimo! There you are. Come on, you get to stay right there. Pop up, would ya? Whoop. There he is. There's a little Junimo. Alright. So, let's get this started. Alright, so, first thing you do when you're animating is naturally you want to go ahead and get your base down. Alright. So, as you can see, here's the original drawing I did traditionally. You take it usually into, say, like, Photoshop. Doodle it up, make it look pretty and nice. Or you can do it in GIMP. You can also draw in GIMP. I just prefer Photoshop because I can actually do more. Just ignore all the patterns down here. I'm actually missing a butt ton of brushes that I have on my laptop. So anyway, so what do? Start with this. Start with the stuff that will not move. Most of the animations I do are very simple. And therefore, you know, you only need to animate or redraw the stuff that's moving, which we'll get to in a moment. Alright, so this is what is not moving in this picture. Or in this GIF, animation, whatever you want to call it at this point. So, next, you start drawing everything that moves. Now, for the teardrop, in this case, it just goes up and down. Let me dig that particular GIF out real quick. Hold on. Okay, I don't have it. Yeah, I'm gonna erase it after this, so it's not gonna be too much of a problem. There it is. Boop. Boop. Alright, so... this is the animation I'm reanimating. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that pink background and have it actually transparent. So, for reference, I will keep that there. So, it'll be there. Alright, so, what we're going to be messing with is this. Since it's the same teardrop the entire time, you just copy it, like duplicate layer, and each layer you move down to however many you want. Alright, let me check this. Okay, that's what that layer is. Hold on. You'll understand why I deleted that in a little bit. Alright, so for this animation over here, you don't really have to care much about this showing up, because what's done in this animation is a background. Everything is flattened down on a background, basically, and everything is combined. So a background basically replaces and covers up everything in the back. Clearly I used pink because with black, as you can see, this barely shows up. You want to have contrasting color so you can actually see the animation going on. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna ignore the stuff I have up here. This is the little eye. So we're gonna focus on the teardrop. So what you want to do is, for your non-moving, you want to make duplicates. So let's, just for organization purposes, non-moving frame. Alright, so make a bunch of copies of that. And then hide them as you work. Alright. Get rid of that. Alright, so we're left with that. Alright, with GIMP, one of the beautiful things about it... Alright, and let's go ahead, before I forget, to remove everything but the frame I'm currently working with. Why is that even there? Why is that there? Okay, yeah. Alright, working with this one. Alright, one thing I like about GIMP that I don't like about Photoshop is when you say merge down, it merges down to the next frame that's actually on, or that's visual. Yeah, that's visible. That's the word I'm looking for. Visible. So, this thing right here. This is good teaching music. Alright, so non-moving frame 1. And then click. You click this one. And then basically what you're doing is you're just merging things down. Now this will be a fairly complicated animation, despite how simple it looks over here, because I'm reanimating it the way I actually wanted it to be animated in the first place. I slightly half-assed this, so I apologize for that. But anyway, it's good to recognize your mistakes. And Junimo here is just happily bouncing here. Woo! Anyway, moving on. Alright, so... And... yeah, so that layers... it merges down to the next visible layer. And this is just right-click, by the way. Merge down... and so we'll go ahead and do all that madness. Alright, and boop. Down. I'm tempted to get rid of this, but I have it there for a reason. I just don't know what that reason is at the moment. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've animated this particular one. And it is slow going, but what I'm doing right now, it can actually be done with just a mouse, maybe a keyboard, if you feel like using the shortcuts. So, boop. Down. And last, but okay, sweet, we actually got just enough. So I want to make actually just one more, so Control Z. Oh yeah, another lovely, lovely thing about GIMP that Photoshop can't do is when you hit Control Z, you can actually constantly undo. You don't just undo the only, like the very last action only. So like say I didn't want to make both of those only at all. Just boom. And unfortunately, one of the downsides of this is it's every action. Like, I make that visible, okay? Undo just makes it invisible again. And just stuff like that. So, let's go back. Whoops, I may have doofed. Oh, wait, no, okay. So we... Alright. I do want to make another one of these just to be on the safe side. hide that, and break it down. Alright. So this frame right here, this regular frame, I'm actually going to move all the way down here for a normal frame. Alright, let me double check. Alright, good. Now here's the fun part. See all of these frames? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so for me, what I do to keep everything and we'll go with tier. Alright. Just to keep things organized when you eventually copy frames. Also, right now what I'm doing is completely on the keyboard. And I'm using the Windows key. I think it's the Windows key? No. No, it's the little list key thing. And I need to get better about that. It's basically the key for right-click. Is it right-clicking? I think it's right-clicking. Hold on, I'll double-check. Give me a few seconds. Yep, it's the key you use for right-clicking. Alright, I need to move this over so I can see. 6. And basically, to make sure you keep everything organized, you want to rename your frames. At least that's what I do. And make them simple. Don't be like echelon, epsilon, zeta, beta. Don't do that. Because you want to know what's going on in that frame. Especially when you're having to constantly move them about and copy them. Alright, so now for the next fun part. In this animation, as you can see over here, I have her eye glowing. I want that to be a bit more organic, similar to her crying one. Which, give me a few seconds and I'll show that. Like, basically, I want it to be organic like this one, rather than just be conveniently timed with the drop. See how that seems to be a bit more organic? Alright. Get out of here. So to keep that a bit more organic, I need my non-moving frame down here, which I'm going to rename just regular non-moving frame. Once again. So, I don't want it to conveniently start, and as you see, there are 5 levels I have here. I basically have to recombine all of these frames with the stuff down here. Yeah, the hardest part is making the frames themselves. The easiest part is actually doing the animation. So let's see. Glow 1. And I'll start chattering again when I get done with this. I didn't realize I had that many. Crap. Alright. So we have the non-moving. And I want it to start out with a glow. So I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to hide the original. For now. So. Alright, so we got our glows. And here's the fun part. Combining all of my tiers and the non-moving with 5 of these. As you can see, there are 10 tiers. Yeah, it's gonna get fun. And there are 6 glows. There's a actually, here we go. Edit. Glow 0. We're gonna name this Glow 0 because there's nothing there. Save. Alright, so technically 7 glows, 10 tiers, and technically 1 non-moving frame. So, here we go. Again, I'm fixing, for lack of better phrasing, I'm fixing this one, but it's going to be a tad bit more complicated than this lazy one. And you'll understand why I call this lazy in a moment. Or, actually, Matt already understand that. Anyway, moving on. Keep bouncing my little Junimo. Again, I did the Junimo animation this morning. It's a total of 3 frames. And I recolored this, I think, 2 days ago? And I added it to my channel art. I don't think I've uploaded it yet, so there's that. Also, hey, Spock! Alright, anyway, so, let's get this party started. Alright, so, every single time you want to combine these, I highly suggest combining the copy with the bottom. Alright, so we've got our non-moving frame. We're going to combine the copy with the non-moving frame. Alright, now we get our first tier. Then we got glow. Boop. Alright, so hide the glow. Hide the copy. Double check that this is the correct frame. Because while yes, you can undo, it doesn't take for flipping ever. Alright, merge down. 2. Alright, so 2 we want glow 2. Again, copy, hide the original, double check. You can actually see the animation kind of in process, so hide that one, and merge down. I just realized I made a mistake. Crap. Okay. We're about to go with the old animation thing that I did. Which is what I did with this one, but I got frustrated. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Alright. So, basically, undoing everything. Well, almost everything. Pretty much, we're gonna get it back down to glow normal. There we go. And... alright. Okay, so... here's the other thing I usually do. Okay. So I've got 10 tiers, right? This is about to turn into 20. And we're gonna have this involved. So... alright, so I want this tier to go... actually, it probably would make a lot less sense for it to go up and down, wouldn't you think? Okay, next problem is determining what you want your animation to be. I think I'll just leave this here then. Okay, so I can go back to what I was doing earlier. My bad, guys. Sorry. Alright, so... 2 normal frames. And here's the other thing you can do. Alright, got everything on. Actually, that's a horrible idea. Hold on. Alright. So since I'm not doing this thing up and down, I'm gonna keep it like how I have over here. Let's see. Where? There it is. Alright. So I'm gonna have my glow actually start with this one, then this one. And here's where it's gonna get tricky. This is what's going to be our copy. Basically, you organize your frames. Alright, so now it's about to get fun. Which means this particular frame is gonna be loved very much. Alright, so we have our 6 glows. I'm gonna hide these guys real quick. There we go. And for this to be natural, it goes bright, dull, kind of like a pulse. This is where it's gonna get tricky. And this is where organization comes in handy. Alright, so this one, 6, will not be glow 6, it'll actually be glow 5. So you want to duplicate this layer. You can either do it through right click or through this little button right here. Because the thing that looks like it has 2 frames. Alright, so move this up. Alright, for tier 7, we want glow 4. So I'm going to do it this way because it's a lot faster. Tier 8, 3. Again, this can be very tedious, but you have to have patience. And that coming from me is hilarious. Alright, next we have glow 2. Oh, we might have just the right amount. And then for tier 10, we have glow 1. And in the animation, it'll go back down to this. So, now for the fun part. Merging all this crap together. Stay. So, let's take a look at how many frames this entire animation is once I'm done. Let's see, so... merge down... double checking to make sure that didn't do a bad. Because you have to make sure you click the correct layer. Alright, glow 4. Glow 5. So... And remember, this layer, the layer you click on, will merge only with the next, like for example, if I were to do non-moving frame as well, it only merges down to the next frame. Alright, so, and now, if I'm able to do this correctly, kind of a step-by-step. Alright, so now we're ready for the actual animating part. And for that, you actually need to get rid of, in my case, I need to get rid of this layer and this layer. Alright. So now we go over to filter. Now that you have all your frames ready, you go over to animation, and there are 2 different animating styles. There's optimized for difference, there's optimized for GIF. And then there's to watch to make sure you have it right. There's this. So now this is without anything special, no timing, no special code. This is also what you would call combine. See how this is all being added together? And it's all 10 frames per second. Okay, that's not bad. Excuse me. Alright, so as you can kind of tell, this one is a tad bit... it's about on this... No, it's a tad bit slower. Alright. So, moving on. So, filters, we're going to... And I'm going to show you the difference between GIF. I'm going to start with GIF first. Watch this over here. As we wait. Alright. The problem with GIF, when you optimize it for GIF, this is where you need the background. This right here. And because I couldn't remember this special thing over here, I ended up having to need the background. So if you do combine, you need the background. Plain and simple. Alright, so I don't want this. I don't want combine. So discard changes. Filters, animation, and we'll go difference. Dadgummit. Ah! Alright, so give me a few seconds to figure out what the hell I did wrong. Oh, wait, I think I might actually still be able to work with this because it's... Okay, hold on. Usually, I use GIF, discard changes. Optimize for making a GIF image. Let's see if I can pull this off real quick, because the animation for, like, the little Junimo here was actually using a command, not a command, but a notation called replace. And this is where editing your layer attributes comes in handy. So, what you do is you replace combine with the word replace. And I'm going to do that to all of these real quick. I do not currently know of a faster way to do this, so I apologize. Now, there was an issue I ran into earlier today when I was doing the animation for Toby, which let me add him to the screen real quick. After I fix this, of course. And it's actually in this window. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to do your frame manipulation here. All you want to do here is mess with the layer attributes. Whoop. Alright, so let me grab Toby real quick. Excuse me, I'm drinking regular Dr. Pepper for once. Alright, Toby, come on out. Now his is a very simple animation as well. It is a still image just moved up and down because he's a little demon talisman. But the animation problem I ran into him was that some of the frames would copy from the previous one. And for a while I couldn't figure out why. And it may or may not come up here, so we're going to fix it together if it does. But after re-optimizing this for animation, I found out that one of the copies had actually turned in to a combine frame instead of a replace frame. And after I fixed it, oops, it went back to normal. And you have the nice smooth little body animation over here. Alright. So, now that they're all on replace, this should work. Emphasis on the term should. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have to do what I did way back when. Alright, so filters, animation, playback. Alright, so worst case scenario, we get to see where I went wrong, and you guys get to learn from it as I learn from it. So, step. Yep. Darn it. Okay, so. Kick. Ah, no, come back here. You. No. Discard. Alright. So, okay, so sometimes that doesn't work. But, now that you know that there are these, now that you know, hey, look. Alright. Now that you know, hey, if I put in, let's see, edit layer attributes. For non-moving frame, I put in my time, which is 100 milliseconds. So that's about a second, roughly. Hold on, let's see. Milli, deci, wait, centi. Okay, so it's 1/10 of a second. So, alright, so non-moving frame, we have one. You can actually add the animation commands here. So I'm gonna put moving frame 1 because it loves being janky with the word copy. Alright, so replace. And I forgot to put in time. So let's go 100 milliseconds. Boom. That should work. So I'll go ahead and actually do filters, animation, playback. Alright, so let's look. Alright, stop. Alright. So we're gonna step, instead of playing it like I just did, what you want to do to check to make sure this works is you step it. And you step it again. Step. Alright, so we need to do these two to see if it actually worked. There it is. Alright, I'm gonna push those together. Put in 100 milliseconds. And put in a replace. Alright, so here's where the true test of what I've just taught comes into play. Alright, 100 milliseconds. Replace. Alright, so we're going to bring up the animation, which again, whoop. I've got 2 drinks on my disc, and I'm constantly bumping into both, so I'm a tad bit nervous. Alright, so, instead of playing, again, we're going to step it. So I'll let you see 1 frame at a time. Alright, so, as you see, rewind. Watch. That's this frame. We're on this frame. This frame. See how there's not another? We're on this frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick out of that, and I'm going to edit the rest of these. And I'm all going to keep them approximately 100 milliseconds. You can change the time if you so wish. I think the Junimo over here, the animation is actually 1,000 milliseconds, so it's like 1 second a frame. And it looks a little more natural. Like, the very first frame for him is 100 milliseconds. The second frame, I think it's either 1,000 or it's 900. I'm pretty sure it's 1,000. 1,000 seconds, 1,000 seconds, 1,000 seconds, 100 seconds, or 100 milliseconds. And that M does make a difference, by the way. Because 1 second is 1,000 milliseconds. So, and let me tell you, when you're animating, 1,000 milliseconds is forever. Or it feels like it's forever when you're trying to figure out, hey, is my animation actually working, or am I just fooling myself? Alright, so as I'm fixing this, do you guys have any questions so far? Preferably about animation, but if you have questions about other things like my book and who this character is, you can ask those too. Also, you always want your time interval first. Don't put it second. It has to be first. Because the program that's animating this is looking for the time first. And then it's looking for what kind of frame it is. At least that's what I've learned. Alright, so a grand moment. Will it work? And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you get a transparent animation. So, now the next question is, how in the world do you actually get it to where, say, my little Junimo friend here and Toby? Well, you Kit X, File, and if you want to go back and tweak the animation later, save as. Seriously, Chibi, Harley, and for GIMP, you're working with XCF files. It can read Photoshop files. I've not checked to see if it can read Paint Tool Psi yet, but from what I've seen, GIMP can read just about any file. However, you cannot reverse this process, meaning you can't. Photoshop here will not open XCF files. It will only open like PSD files, or it'll open up images and PSD files. It will not open XCF files. So I'm gonna save this in my animated thing. Actually, no, I'm gonna go over here and put it in animations with these guys. Alright, so now you have File, Export. And you want a GIF. I have it in animation, so seriously, Harley Chibi. GIF. So, alright, and then boop. Alright, and so here's this. You can actually name your file names. If it's a PNG, it'll ask for whatever. If you put in GIF, it will ask, oh, do you want to give comments? I'll put in use to teach, animation, and then you want, for an animation, you want to save it as an animation. You need to save it as an animation, okay? Are we clear, ladies and gentlemen? Alright, I usually ignore this and 1 frame per layer. That's replace. That's a replace command. Cumulative layers is combine. We want replace. So, export. And I'm gonna go digging around real quick in my file. Actually, wait. I can see if this is a success in this way. Where's my thing? Where's my OBS? Come here, OBS. Alright. So, boop. Boop. Browse. Say it without saying as animation, you can get an odd compacted 1-layer GIF. Correct. That is very correct. I have a feeling you've gone through that. Okay. Alright, and fade it in. Now this is actually faster than this animation. Or this one is much faster than this one. But it is transparent. You don't get any weird lines. So I'm actually going to go back and like do all of my redo all of my little animations here. So, any questions, guys? I'm going to bring up another one and pretty much do the same thing all over again. So, boop, boop. Because yeah, I'm going to redo this one. Which is very, very simple. You're only working with an original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're only working with 8 frames on this one. So, if you guys don't have any more questions, or have any questions, I guess I should say, I'm going to go ahead and reanimate the other one, just to try and make this thing hit an hour. So, yeah. I'll probably be mostly silent throughout it. What's the program? This program is GIMP. The little dog thing down here. It is free. This specific update is GIMP 2.8, if I remember correctly. That shit is wild. The easier tools with less holes to ruin your work came from companies that have died. I guess they were too good. But the program is GIMP. G-I-M-P, all capital. Up here. Oh. Give me a few seconds. Bit boss, you need to move. Move over here. Thank you. But yeah, up here. GIMP. Why all the easier tools, less holes to work? Well, if it's anything from what I've learned, Spock, if it's anything from what I've learned about the sock industry of all things in America, it's because too good quality, no need to update as much, and once everyone has really good quality, they don't have to buy anything. Like, for example, military socks, army socks. My dad took one of his socks that was USA made, and he made what's called a sock horse. Basically, the sock was stuffed, drawn on, and then stapled to a broom handle. But you know those stick horses? Yeah, my dad made me one. Said stick horse has gone through me, my sister Jordan, and my sister Taya. And the sock still doesn't have any more holes in it than it originally had, which was one where your foot went in. United States goods are really well designed and durable as hell. I didn't even realize the bit boss thing was in the way. So, with that said, I'm gonna go head on to the next animation. Alright. So here are our moving frames. We just have 3. And since she's constantly waving her arm, I don't have to worry about this. So basically, the non-moving frame has already been combined with one moving part. Alright, so I'm going to delete this, because we don't need the background. And then I'm going to make... Okay, hold on. Let me figure out what's where. Okay. Arm 1. Pantyhose were made nearly indestructible in the 1960s. Some of my grandmas from back then still have no runs or snags. They had to make an easier to rip nylon for modern ones so the companies didn't sell themselves out of business. Yep. And now you can't even put pantyhose on without getting a rip or snag, like for the first time you wear them. It's ridiculous. We made this product the best ever! Everyone now has said best product and they don't need to buy anymore. Crap, we're going bankrupt, Playful. It's something. Let me tell you, it's something. Alright, so let's rename all these guys. Alright, and I'm going to make... I'm gonna double check to make sure that I don't have a 0 glow frame. Alright, I do not have a 0 glow frame, so I need to go and do that, so... 0. Alright. Alright. Wait. Okay, there's a faint glow, so it counts. Alright, so let me finish editing the layers of these. This one's 2. Yep. Whoops! I have no idea what I just did. Okay, hold on. Let's fix this. Okay, there we go. Fixed. I think this one's 5. Yep. Before the 60s, pantyhose were such a specialty thing, it was $50 a pair. Yeah, that is true. That is horrendously true. It was nuts. Alright. So, 1, 2, that stays. Alright, so I need a copy of this one. Copy of this one. Oh, crap. Another copy of this one. Uh-oh. We have a... Houston, we have a problem. Copy 3. Oh, we have a major problem. Okay. This is the fun, not so fun part of animating. When you don't have even frames. We got super lucky. There we go. Slick. There we go. When your we got very lucky on the last animation, and it just so happens that we had 12 unmoving frames, but this time we have a very uneven number. And unfortunately, because I want the glow to go back and forth like a pulse, and I want my arm to go up and down on this. So let me drag up the original for this one. I'll get rid of these two real quick. Alright, so let me find the original of the animation I'm currently working on. Okay. Bloop. There we go. Fix that. Alright, so that's the original animation. I have to write out a timeline to see about balancing the timing for the effects transitions. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Unfortunately, I do a lot of things on the fly. Alright, so glow 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I'm gonna make a copy of all of these, but keeping them where they're currently at. See if that helps any. Because I know glow 4 is gonna go here. Alright, so I need a copy of arm 2. And that'll go with glow 3. Need a copy of arm 1. And that will go with glow 2. Oh, crap. Need another copy of 2. That will glow with glow 1. Yeah, this is what happened with Crying Harley. Yeah, Crying Chibi Harley. I ended up with 30-something frames because I didn't match everything together. Alright, and then glow 0. That will go with 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then I need Farfet Nugan. So this is where it gets overly, horribly complicated. But it actually might not be a bad idea. Hold on, let me find a... Oh, wait, no. Duh, I can use this. Alright. So, boop. Okay, since it's not me, I'm not gonna argue that one. Alright, so what do we have for animation? We have arm 1, arm 2, arm 3. Glow 0, and I'll just put up the matching frames next to it. Glow 2, glow 3, 4, and I think our max is 5, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, our max is 5. Alright, so since I've got them up here, I'm gonna do this. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do this. Alright. So I'm gonna keep it like that, but I'm gonna fix things here. Alright, so arm 2, arm 1, arm 2. Alright, and then it starts all over. Arm 3. Basically writing it out so I can see where so I can keep up with everything. Basically, I have to get arm 1 to glow 0 again. And this is gonna take a while. Alright, I think the next rotation should do it, maybe? So yeah, I'm writing out the frames so I can try and keep track. The music is from, specifically it is from Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong's Quest. Or Diddy's Conquest. Oh, this is gonna take a while. I may not be able to get it back to 0. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Aha! There you are. 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, Oh, wait. We got arm back. Okay, there it is. Alright, so... There we go. Did he say monkey bot an actual Kong? And in the wrong place. You know. Alright, so now we're gonna match these up. Alright, so arm 1, glow 1. We can merge. Boom. Glow 1, arm 2, and I'm gonna cross them off as we get to them. So glow 1, arm 2. And since I know I have copies up here, I'm not too worried. Arm 3, glow 2. I'm gonna start doing this. 3, 2, 5. Alright. Those are correct. Alright, so arm 2, glow 5. Let me double check that I have a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I need another 5? Yes. Alright, I need to make sure I pay attention that I have one of each. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy 4. Just to make sure I've got it. 3, 2, 1, 0, and then 1, 2, 3. Alright. By the way, thank you, Spock. That was a brilliant idea. Thank you very much. I enjoy learning from other people, believe it or not. Okay, so that's 2, 1. Alright, so... arm 2, glow 1. Alright. I need arm 3, glow 0. Yeah, that's brilliant. I'm going to be using that for the rest of the time I'm going to be using that for the rest of the time that I animate. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And it helps you double check your work so you don't get frustrated. Alright, so let's see. Glow 0 with 3. Alright. Alright, I need arm. There we go. Arm 2. With glow 1. Alright, arm 1. With glow. Alright, I only need one more 2. Alright, so arm 2. Glow 3. That is not the last glow 3 that I need, so... Alright, so arm 3. Glow 4. Arm 2. This will be the last 5. So I can just merge those. Alright. Need one more copy of arm 1. Need one more copy of... Whoops. Hold on. Okay. One more copy of arm 2. Okay, those are my originals. Alright, so 2, 4. Wait. No, it's 1, 4. Alright. So, copy that. 1. This is the last 4. Need another copy of arm 2. The last 3. This will be the last arm 3. Glow 2. So glow 1 with arm. Down, and then we have merge down. Oh my gosh! Alright, and strangely enough, this one actually gets deleted. Boop. Okay, so, boop, boop. Alrighty. So, now we get to animate all this madness. And it all will be 100 milliseconds. How many frames do we even have? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 20 frames of animation. Thank you, Spock, for making that a tad bit easier with that suggestion. I cannot say thank you enough on that. Okay, so here we go. And all of this can now be done on the keyboard, so ooh-ah. So arm 1. Actually, we're gonna rename all of these frame. That way we can remove any copy words. Okay, frame 1 just needs to be 100 seconds, or 100 milliseconds. And we're just going to rename all of these frames just to avoid the potential problem of copies, and what I ran into earlier with Toby. Whoops. Hold on. That's gonna bother me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this a little easier on me. Control X. And then just paste, so I don't have to keep typing it over and over again. Also, by naming your frames frame, you can actually see how many frames of animation it took you. And you can gawk at how many or how few they are. Jim Mathers, eat your heart out. Admittedly, Jonathan is the reason I got into animating. Him and Foamy. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Ah! Crap! No! Ah! Good! Golly, Miss Molly, that's scary. Okay, back on track. Alright, so now that all of that madness is done, filters, animation, playback. And we do what we did earlier, which is save as. Then export. Alright, all of that's checked. And and there we have it. That is GIMP. GNU image manipulation program. I will probably, if you guys want me to keep doing animations for like however long, let me know. I'm gonna put this on the BRB screen. So, because I gotta go get some water. So pretty much either let me know to keep going or say, okay, see you on the game stream tonight.